Good evening and welcome to the Great Goth Baking Show! Let's hope it's just as wholesome as the Great British Baking Show. Today, I'm channeling my inner Helena. If you don't know, Helena is a contestant from an earlier season of the Great British Baking Show who was our favorite gothy gal. I'm channeling her today, and even better, if you have not seen the holiday episodes they released on Netflix, there's two. There's one for New Year's, one for Christmas. Helena makes an appearance in one of them. I won't spoil which one. She makes an appearance, so I'm so excited to see her come back. Another contestant I would love to see come back in a holiday special is our boy Jurgen. I love Jurgen so much. He is so... I love him.
We have to protect him.
Also, Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Hopefully, you're having a good day today. Hopefully you spend the people that you like, or kind of like, or at least one person that you like. Whatever, you know. Holiday get-togethers can be quite an interesting arrangement, can't they? But today, we're gonna have some fun. We're going to do some holiday baking. We are doing one that I saw, I think it was last year? Was it last year? Maybe it was 2 years ago in the holiday edition, but they did a double bake cake, which what looked like a Christmas present, and that's what we're doing today. I did a version of this last year, but I didn't have time to film it, so this year I made time to film this video. So what is a double bake cake, you might be asking? Well, it's when you pre-bake a cake, cut those cakes into little shapes, and then put them in new batter, and then you get a double bake cake.
You got all that, honey?
3 liquors wearing pants, plate of hot air, biscuit of grandma's breakfast, and change the bowl to a gill. Got it.
So the appeal of this cake is you don't know. There's a little surprise on the inside until you cut into it. Now, since we are gothy, we are not doing a traditional snowman, penguin, snowflakes. We're doing bats and ghosts, my friends. So I've already pre-baked my first cake. I used a white box cake mix because I'm lazy. We are making the buttercream frosting from scratch, but to save myself a headache and a lot of groceries to buy, we're making it simple with the box cake mixes. So while those cakes continue to cool in the fridge, let's get together and make this red velvet cake mix, and then we'll start actually doing hopefully the fun part of this video. Perfectly moist red velvet cake. Okay, 3 eggs. Don't judge me on how I crack them, okay? Well, hello. I have finished mixing my red velvet cake mix. It's look a little chunky, so hopefully I got out all of the little clumps. Smells good. Well, let's put it aside, and I'll probably do another mix before I pour it over top of our cut cake. But let's go ahead and get those out of the fridge. Here are our cooled cakes ready to be cut. They definitely feel a lot firmer now. This one had a little bit of a tragedy coming out of the pan.
Very good. Very good.
So not a big deal. As long as we can get enough cutouts out of these in order to fill up a pan, that's all we're gonna need. So I'm gonna move the cake to the side for now. So we have this bat. Normally when you put in your little cutouts, you want to put them upside down so that when you flip the cake over, they'll be right side up. So this one will probably be a little bit too tall because barely his tail's sticking out, and we're probably gonna want to have to level this. So I'm probably going to say no on this bat. We have a ghost. The ghost, in my opinion, fits perfectly. So I think I want to use him. He could be like the ghost of Christmas past inside this pan.
Denied. Oh, ghost cake.
We're going to need our ghost.
She went hiding.
Oh, please come out. We're not break. Oh.
Ta-da, it's a ghosty. Bring your loaves back because you don't want to just put in your cutouts directly into the cake pan. They will not stick. So we're gonna grab our batter. well, hi. Potentially, I may have caused some problems. One, I did not have enough cake batter to fill my little mini cake pan tin, so I cut out all those other ones for no reason. And they just had to go right in the trash too. As you can see, I don't know if this is filled up enough. So last year I used 2 square cake pans so I could double layer the cake. This year I thought I would use a loaf pan, and because of that, I don't know if I should have bought 2 regular cake mixes or if one is going to be enough. I mean, it's pretty full. I just don't know. These aren't super covered. So we'll find out if that was a mistake on my part. Also, I did not level them. As you can see, there's gaps. So we'll see if when we cut into it, if that's terrible. A little worried. Slightly worried.
Sweating.
So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven at 350 between 30 to 40 minutes. Not quite sure. I'll let you know the exact time here, how long it actually took in the oven, since I'm not sure with this loaf pan and how it's not super submerged in the cake mix. Well, I'll find out. I'll find out for you and see how it is.
I'm calm. I'm extremely calm.
Just pulled this out of the oven.
Rockin' meatloaf, Mom.
Our ghosts, they're not quite hidden, but you know, this did puff up more than I thought, so I think we might be okay. We're probably still gonna have to slice mainly the ones in the middle, I'm thinking, but hopefully people will still be able to tell that they're ghosts. Again, if not, they're just fun blobs. Hello. If I seem irritated, it's because I am. Nothing's going right. So, hopefully this next step won't be so frustrating. At least this time we have the fun bowl. So let me go grab all my ingredients.
Yes? Yes? It's not time for anything.
So here are the ingredients that we're gonna need. 8 ounces of cream cheese. Got it. A half a cup of unsalted butter. 4 cups of powdered sugar. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And half a teaspoon of salt. So combine butter and cream cheese in the bowl of a stand mixer, or you may use an electric mixer and beat until creamy, well combined, and lump free. Well, you're gonna see Muscle Rachel come out right now, because we are doing this by hand. Gross. Now I'm gonna get a whisk. Is that better? Can you see more of what I'm doing? Not that you probably need to really see this part, but I figured you'd like to see my struggle. We're slowly making progress with the cream cheese buttercream frosting. It's looking pretty good considering I am hand mixing it. Gotta say, good arm workout. Woo-wee.
Stop flexing your muscles, George.
I think trying to do all of this in one day was a little much. I should have probably designated one day for baking, then one day for decorating, but if they can do it on the Great British Baking Show, I think I can. Well, I don't know if I can do it, but if they are allowed to have 4 hours, I think I can have like 12 hours in a day. We're just about done with mixing. Wanted to say really fast thank you to anybody who tuned in and watched my Victorian ghost story video. That one didn't get as many views as I normally get on videos, which is fine. I don't really care about that. At least I'm trying not to, because I feel like that's a bad downward spiral that can lead you to depression, so I don't really try to look at the views I get. You can't really help it though if you're trying to go and approve comments. But yeah, anyways, digressing. It's fine. I don't really care. But I wanted to say thank you for anyone who asked for another Victorian ghost story reading video. I may do one more this year. Maybe I'll put it out like around New Year's or something. But I will for sure be making it an annual tradition, so don't worry, it's coming back. Every year we will for sure be sitting down to read another fabulous ghost story together. Yay, messes to clean up. Woo! Edgar! Hi, do you want dinner?
Sorry, buddy. That was a dumb question.
On a slightly happier note, this should come out of the pan cleanly.
Flawless victory.
I checked the sides before I frosted them, and you actually could not see any of the white through it, so that's great. And I actually didn't need to trim the bottom of the loaf, as you can see, because I used this particular platter, which is domed at the bottom. Okay, so let's take some more of this frosting. They say to use a thin layer when you're using fondant, but I have so much frosting left, and there's not any frosting in the cake. So I'm going to be a little heavy-handed with my frosting. Again, crumb coat has been applied. So we will be applying a second layer to make sure there's enough frosting for everybody on this cake. Gotta figure out what I want to do with the rest of the frosting I made. Ta-da! Okay, we're gonna put this to the side and then we'll roll out our fondant. Fondant time. We are getting hand model Rachel today. Yes, or I guess we can say Addams Family, the hand.
Sing.
I need to make sure that this surface is super clean, and then we will sprinkle some powdered sugar down. You can either use that, or I read vegetable shortening can be used, and they also want to do it on your hands. So the last time I did this, I think the thing I did the worst at was rolling it out thin. I remember I did some pretty thick layers of fondant, and I'm not a huge fan of the taste of fondant. It does not taste that good to me, so we're going to see if I can do a better job at rolling it out thin without cracking it in the process. I saved you from falling into the powdered sugar, but I may have got some on you.
I'm so sorry.
Block. Down. Powder my own hands. Okay, I think it's, I don't know, it feels pretty pliable. I don't know if I should roll this whole entire thing or if I should just break off a chunk of it, because I don't think I'm gonna need all 24 ounces. Whatever, we'll roll it all out. A little less boring, I went ahead and kneaded the white clay and then cut really thin strips like you see here, and then just lightly press down on the black fondant to get them to stick. So let's see if this works. Now I'm just going to try and incorporate them better by rolling it out with a rolling pin and hopefully get this to be a little bit thinner, because I feel like this is still very thick. So hopefully it's looking spooky like Jack Skellington's suit he has on. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna get it much thinner than this without fear of ripping it. So I don't know how I'm gonna show you guys this part of me filming it. So I'm gonna try and roll it into my pan here. We'll see. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, hey back. Oh god, this is like a tent. If you had one of those like smoothers, it's probably easier. Definitely rolled out way too much, but you know what? Better to be too much than not enough with fondant, I'd say. So I'm just gonna see if I can cut the excess off. Making progress, getting pieces off. So as you can see, there's a little bit of cracking right there. Can you see that? And then right there. You can see that. So I'm gonna seal those up and do any other like finessing with the fondant, and then I'll come back with you guys to roll out the red one so we can do little bats on this thing. Okay, we got a little bat cutter and I got some red rolled out, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut out some baddies. I'm gonna try and stick them on with the buttercream. Okay, no pressure, no pressure. Two bat.
One bag, two bags.
Like I'm just slapping these on. Boop. So here are all the little bat cutouts. Ooh. And here's what the cake's looking like so far. That's looking okay. Could be better, could be worse. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm going to use some of this sparkle gel. I did this last year and I outlined the bats with it so that way they kind of look more seamless. And I think I'm going to use the rest of this white and then the red here to kind of twist together to make a ribbon. And then that's what I'll put over top. Kind of like what you see with this present here, how it's like red and white twisted together. So we'll see if I can do that or not. Who knows? Since we're kind of almost at the final stage, I want to leave it a little bit of a surprise, even though we still have to cut on the inside. That's still a surprise for everybody here. But I want to leave the final cake as a surprise. I think you kind of know where it's going. We have the black and white stripes, we have the red bats. Now it's just final touches with the green sparkle gel. I'm gonna add a few fun sprinkles. I have some snowflake ones in here. So I may or may not add these sprinkles. We'll see how much open gap space I feel like I need to fill in. But really, for sure we have just this to do and then the ribbon. So I'll show you the final reveal once that is done. Also, I kind of got to clean you guys off. Got a lot of powdered sugar on you.
Let me shine this up for you.
Alright, after many hours and many cleanups later, let me present to you my Great Goth Christmas cake. Well, hello everybody, it's actually the next day and I did not feel very well, so I didn't end up going to my boyfriend's family's Christmas get-together because Shark Week decided to get me really hard. So I ended up staying home and I did make other items to bring to the party, so I ended up keeping the cake here, which may have been mean, I don't know, but I have it here, so I figured we could slice into it together to see if I was successful at our little surprise on the inside. So let's go grab a knife. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see how I did.
Makes me nervous, actually.
Let's see.
You know, it's not that bad.
At least you can see something on the inside this year. So I'm curious if I keep cutting into this, if it'll get more ghostly or less ghostly. Because if you look at this, this is the tail, so you can see that part. This is one arm. I believe this is the other arm, and this would be where the head is. So before I conclude this video, I want to make sure and rewatch the footage of me slicing the cake in case my point of view was different from the camera's point of view, and I actually noticed with your guys' point of view versus my overhead view, you can actually tell the image of the ghost a lot better than when I was standing there, so that actually makes me pretty happy. Again, it's not perfect, so I think my main problem, which I will fix next year, I will take the time to do it, is I'll actually cut down the sides of the cake so that way they're perfectly level, so that way when I put them side by side with each other, they actually line up 100%. Hopefully next year we'll have a perfectly presented spooky image inside of the cake. Well, here it is, you guys. The final result of my double bake cake. For me, I think I did okay on this cake. I would give myself a B-. I don't think it's A worthy, but I definitely think it's like worth a passing grade. And I gotta say, once I put it in with my tablescape here, it just like elevated it by a lot. Now last year, when I made this, I didn't do a ribbon out of fondant. I was lazy. Grabbed some ribbon in my guest bedroom, did a bow, put it on top, called it a day. So I am proud of myself for actually making a fondant bow. Is it perfect? No. But did I actually create something that's 100% edible? I sure did. Let me know how you thought I did down below. I would love to hear your opinions, how you thought it looked, how it turned out. If you guys have any questions for me, if I missed anything, let me know down below. If you have any advice for me on how to be a better baker or how to use fondant better, let me know down below as well. If you watch the Great British Baking Show, who is your favorite contestant of all time? Mine's Jurgen, and then second is Helena. I'm gonna head off. It's 1 o'clock in the morning now, and I would like to get some sleep before we have to get up for Christmas. So I hope you guys are having an awesome yet spooky week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Happy Christmas! As they would say in Harry Potter. Bye!